Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, I'm going to be talking about the KPSF San Francisco Open today. Talk about the origins and a father's love for a son, man. That's all it is. Stay tuned. So let me tell you a tennis story. So 3 friends for 10 years would wake up twice a week and go play tennis at 7 in the morning. Names are Vikram, Derrik, and Kunal. So they would go twice a week, wake up early, hit the court, and then proceed with going to work. And they did this for 10 years. Really good friends from childhood, just loving the game. On October 23rd, 2014, Kunal, riding his bike in San Francisco, fatally struck and hit. Friends grieved, family grieved. Family didn't know the friends, but when they came together during the memorial, the father, the family, wanted to pay tribute to their son Kunal and talk to the friends about the game of tennis, which they all loved. And they came up with something really interesting. What about holding a tournament in Kunal's honor? Well, everybody kind of jumped on board. Derrik, one of the friends, made a bunch of phone calls to ATP and basically got it up in a hurry. And the first year was 2016. In which there was a draw of 16 people at the San Francisco Tennis Club. And that was basically the first San Francisco ATP tournament since, a long time, because they moved that original tournament to San Jose, and now it is kind of no longer. So that is a pretty big feat for, a family and some grieving friends to put together. Now, they dubbed it the KPSF, the Kunal Patel San Francisco Open. And in that first year, there was just a bunch of, locals that, wanted to play in this tournament. This was indoors, and it kind of grew from there. So the next year, a draw of 32, year after, another draw of 32, and in 2019, we had some actually big people. We had Stevie Johnson, who actually took the whole thing. Tiafo was in there. So it's kind of blown up a little bit there in 2019. 2020, kind of pandemic year. They didn't hold it. The San Francisco Tennis Club actually was demolished. Therefore, they had to look for a new home. Therefore, the Golden Gate Park, the Lisa and Douglas Goldman facility in San Francisco at Golden Gate Park kind of stepped in and is now the home of the KPSF San Francisco Open. So my buddy Vikram invited me out to a reception here, and that's where I'm about to go. Guys, I'm in San Francisco at the Lisa and Douglas Goldman Tennis Center, Golden Gate Park, San Francisco. And I'm at the KPSF Open. We're going to go check out the facility, check out what it looks like in there, and maybe talk a little about talk to the founders of the tournament to see what it's all about. Stay tuned. So, man, I'm still over elated right now, as I am with the founders of the KPSF San Francisco Open, the Kunal Patel San Francisco Open. The three founders are with me today: Mukesh, Vikram, and Derrik. So, guys, welcome and thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, my questions for you guys. So, I know this is a premier tennis event here in San Francisco, which we haven't had in a long time, since I was like that big. So, when we had it at the San Francisco Civic Center. So, you're going to bring back a lot of memories for the kids that are coming out to San Francisco watching world-class tennis. So, Mukesh, how did this tournament come about?
So, after my son's accident, I met Vikram and Derrik, and we thought of doing something in his honor. And we said we'll have a small tournament, just friends, and just have a few games and just get together. And then Derrik and Vikram said, hey, we can make it slightly bigger, maybe we can do something more than that. And we wanted to have a bigger picture of this whole thing. So we decided to have a USDA, $15,000 prize money. And we said at least it will become bigger. Kunal was always thinking big. Right? He had a startup, so he was always thinking big, so we want to do something bigger. And suddenly from having a small, 15, 20 people, it became like a USDA. And then once we did that, and the next thing was like, okay, now we can do it bigger because it was nice. So we did ATP, it's $100,000, and that's how we started.
So you went from like just messing around, essentially, with 15 people that you can get in, to blowing it up. Is that what you're telling me?
Right?
Yeah, and I think we...
Well, no. We actually signed up for the ATP right before Thanksgiving and had basically a month and a half to host an ATP challenge.
That was crazy.
And that was the first year. And that was the first year at SFTC. And it was, we got the whole Bay Club community involved and got the general, greater San Francisco tennis community.
I think part of it is the San Francisco tennis community, right? It was we got them all involved. That was great to see the people show up. I think every year we've had great turnout, and people are super excited to be here. That's been the best part of it.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, guys. San Francisco was yearning for a tournament again. So thank you guys for doing this. I'm super excited. Every year you guys come back, and I love it. So who's played here before in the past?
Yeah, we've had some big names. And a lot of up-and-coming names. I think this is a platform. We want this to be a platform for up-and-coming talent. We've had TFO here. We've had Pospisil. We've had Opelka. Taylor Fritz played here.
Stevie?
Then we had Stevie Johnson.
That's right, Stevie Johnson.
And then we had Sam Query.
Yeah, and some seasoned players as well. But that's the best part, is you get to see some professionals and also some new and up-and-coming talent, and kids who are in college. So it's fun for the community to watch this kind of tennis.
Yeah, pro-level tennis in San Francisco. So what do you guys see as the future of this tournament here?
So I think that the future, so if you kind of step back and look at what we've done, we started off as a kind of a NorCal Open, right? A smaller event, and we grew it to an ATP Challenger, which was a good event as well, and then built it up, and we were at SFTC. What we're doing is we're kind of restarting it now, and we're trying to have more engagement with the community and bring all of greater San Francisco together. And that's why we're doing not only having a men's event like we always had, but we're having a women's event, we're having a club doubles challenge, and then we're also, the doubles challenge also goes to nonprofit, and then we have Aces for Kids, which is another philanthropic nonprofit entity. And then we're also having Arthur Ashe Kids Day. And so that's, we're trying to bring in the community and kind of showcase also the new facility here, and just, bring up kind of the greater tennis community in San Francisco.
guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
by
that's-
the way, tomorrow will be about 200, 300 kids.
Yeah.
How many years now? This is the 6th?
5, right?
5 year, you got a minus.
You got the COVID year.
Damn. Okay.
And the ask I say, Harry, for people watching the channel is that come support us. You know, we want to be here every year. We want to be doing this. So what you can do for us is come support us, spread the word.
Spread the word. I mean,
Yeah.
we're trying to market this. We
Definitely,
want to
right.
build it every
Yeah.
year, grow it more and more, and keep it here and build it up
Yeah.
as much as we can and get. It's all free to the general public, and we want to bring as many people out here to enjoy tennis as we can.
So we are very happy with this new venue, right? It's like
Oh.
San Francisco latest,
It's the best public venue in any private sector.
Right?
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Eric.
time.
Thank you.
Guys, free event every year. KPSF San Francisco Open.
Wasn't that cool? I haven't seen a match as exciting as some of those matches in a long time, especially in the city of San Francisco. So I was able to speak with Kunal's father, Mukesh, for a little bit during the reception. And, you know, he kind of gave me a little bit of insight. He basically says, whenever we hold this tournament, and it kind of brings me closer to Kunal. A father's love for a son holds no boundaries, especially with love and, in this case, tennis. So, here's to you, Kunal. Rest in peace.